Michael, thank you so much for joining us. A 700% increase in demand. How does one even wrap your brain around that kind of spike in demand for learning materials? What was the experience like for your organization?
I think before you even start to wrap your brain around, we had to stop jumping up and down with excitement. We've been working really hard over the last couple of years to help teachers see the need for technology in a classroom. You know, there's so much concern by so many people that technology is going to take their jobs, and I think teachers have fallen into that trap about the fourth industrial revolution being a nemesis that was going to be something to take them out. But rather what we were able to see that people were prepared to find alternative ways. And I think that speaks a great deal to the tenacity and resilience of teachers, that when the push came to shove, they realized that technology was going to be able to help them and looked out into the world to see what was available. And we were pleased that we had materials that were available to meet their needs.
Yeah, Michael, nothing clears the mind like a lack of options and being forced to look at things differently, especially from a technology side. We're really looking forward to our discussion. I was telling Marcel that the use of WhatsApp is of particular interest to me. The numbers, not just the 700%, 60,000 sign-ups, I think it was, for getting your learning material on WhatsApp. And the reason I find that so interesting is because we don't own WhatsApp as a platform. You can't customize it. You can't change its delivery system. And they're very restrictive, aren't they? You've had to work within using WhatsApp. Just tell me how you got that right and how are you delivering to 60,000 people?
So, indeed, I have to be honest and say initially at the very early days of the COVID lockdown, we came up with this idea of being able to share key learning guides with learners using WhatsApp. And we thought it would be sort of business as usual in a way that we'd have a few hundred requests. And as the numbers started to escalate, suddenly we ended up with a whole WhatsApp call center within our business meeting that need. And I think although it is restrictive, there is a particular advantage to that. There is almost no learning curve when it comes to a platform like WhatsApp. So all you need to do is know how to do the basics. And what that's meant is that teachers have been able to adopt WhatsApp as a teaching methodology. It's quick and easy to record a video explaining a concept, share it with the WhatsApp group that you've been sharing recipes or building tips with for the last while. And the kids get it, they're able to respond, they're able to see things in real time. So I think WhatsApp has been a particularly useful way of bridging the gap. And when WhatsApp introduced the breakout rooms with Facebook Messenger, I think that's just added an additional level at the right time of complexity and flexibility.
You spoke earlier about not all teachers being on the same page in terms of what technology could do for them. And this is in the years leading up to this unprecedented, for want of an overused phrase, 2020. And you at Via Africa say that attitude has been key in making sure that this online content gets to the teachers who need it most and gets to the pupils that need it most. Is it because even the phrase 4IR is something that sends people scurrying for the hills, and it needs to be broken down for people to understand what that actually means, and that apps and technology can actually help day-to-day processes in education become so much easier?
Absolutely. I think the notion that, the way we teach has been around with us for about 300 odd years. And it's pretty hard to break out of a 300-year-old habit unless you, as Gareth indicated, unless suddenly you have no choice. So with that impetus, suddenly we had teachers able to change their attitude. And we do a lot of work in terms of mindset change, because I think that one of the biggest reasons why we don't want to adopt technology, particularly in something as conservative as education, is that we're afraid of it. And we need to develop a mindset that is able to overcome the fears that hold us back. So once that is done, it becomes a whole lot easier. So it's really about making that attitudinal change to start embracing it. And what I find so amusing is that people often define the fourth industrial revolution as a fusion of the biological and the cyber. And I don't think anything proves it more than the biological teacher being broadcast in a cyber world to their kids. So I think there we have it. Teachers have become part of the fourth industrial revolution quite easily.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. We've got so much to talk about when it comes to this kind of thing, but I don't think it'll be the last conversation we have around that. Via Africa's Digital Education Academy, also a web-based solution there for online teacher training, which is also as important, if not the most important, as we try and get more and more people access and involved in how technology can really help them put their best foot forward.